The funniest thing about Meghan Markle's deranged display in Montecito over the weekend with Ted Sarandos, the Netflix boss, is that she hasn't realized yet. You're the one being played, Meghan.
Your business partnership is collapsing. Your cooking show was canceled. Your brand lost its backer. And your place to show up at the man's house, grab his wife's hand and pose for Getty images like everything is fine? That takes a very specific kind of audacity, and nobody does audacity like Meghan.
The cameras were flashing. The guest list was packed with Hollywood's biggest names. And yet, something about that night didn't add up. At first glance, it looked like just another glamorous evening in Montecito. A private Netflix gathering, A-list celebrities, elegant styling, and carefully curated photo moments. But beneath the surface, a very different story may have been unfolding. One that wasn't written in headlines, but in what wasn't captured. Because sometimes in Hollywood, what you don't see matters more than what you do.
They made sure that Carey Mulligan did not come in until Meghan Markle had left. And she didn't want to leave. She was making everybody's life a misery because she wanted to be present because she's the Duchess. But no, honey, you have lost big time. That's how much Meghan Markle's stock has fallen. She was kicked out and Harry was embarrassed and apologizing to Ted Sarandos once again for his wife's lack of sensitivity or listening to people or following a simple dress code.
She is very, very worried, nervous. She's on the back foot. She knows Netflix is gone. She knows Netflix is moving on, and she's sort of freaking out about it. They know the gravy train is ending, and they're just doing anything as humanly possible to gain attention.
Meghan Markle arrived at the event alongside Prince Harry, stepping into a space filled with industry powerhouses, names like Michael Keaton, Carey Mulligan, Oscar Isaac, and Don Johnson. It was a room designed for visibility, influence, and connection. But when the official photos from the night were released, observers noticed something unusual. Out of dozens of images distributed to the press, Meghan appeared primarily alongside just two individuals, the host, Ted Sarandos, and his wife.
Well, Brittany, none of this was a good look. None of this was a good look. She looks truly deranged. We know what she's trying to do here. The problem is, Brittany, it changes nothing. The fact that Ted Sarandos wants her to try and promote.
Beyond that, there were no widely circulated one-on-one images with the event's major stars. Now, in isolation, that might mean nothing. But in Hollywood, these curated photo drops are rarely accidental. They are strategic, deliberate, almost scripted. And that's where the speculation begins. Because in an environment where visibility equals relevance, the absence of certain interactions can quietly suggest distance. Not necessarily conflict, but perhaps a shift.
I mean, she doesn't care about her reputation, does she? Or does she think that the Duchess of Sussex title can take on anything and nothing's going to happen to it? That title, it's already devalued, depreciated, and valued completely. How embarrassing. And no, Meghan Markle doesn't have a model body.
This moment didn't happen in a vacuum. In the weeks leading up to the event, industry conversations had already begun to change. Reports from outlets like Variety suggested growing uncertainty around the future of Harry and Meghan's partnership with Netflix.
It is gross, and trust me, I know how fake Hollywood is. I know how fake the entertainment industry is. But Meghan Markle and the Sussex Squad think this is a win for her. Think that this in some way disproves everything that has gone on with Netflix. It doesn't. All she looks is nuts. Totally crazy. Clinging on to Ted Sarandos' wife for dear life.
While no official statement confirmed a complete break, insiders hinted at a cooling relationship. Less momentum, fewer guarantees, and projects that struggled to resonate. Their lifestyle series, often referred to as With Love Meghan, faced criticism and underwhelming performance metrics.
Here's the detail that makes this story even more delicious. 2 weeks before this party, Carey Mulligan walked into Windsor Castle and received a CBE from King Charles, Commander of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire. Her husband Marcus Mumford was by her side. It was one of the proudest moments of her career. And then, 14 days later, the woman who left that very institution showed up at Carrie's Netflix celebration wearing the same color, pulling focus in exactly the way she always does.
He has a normal smile. Hers looks very, very forced to me.
Other productions, including documentaries, reportedly didn't achieve the breakout success many expected. And in Hollywood, results speak louder than reputation. So when Meghan appeared at this high-profile event, some analysts believed it wasn't just a social appearance. It may have been a moment of quiet repositioning, a chance to reinforce connections, to signal relevance, to remind the room and the industry that she still belonged in that space. But the optics told a more complicated story. One image in particular drew attention: a warm, extended embrace with the host's wife. To some, it looked friendly and natural. To others, including certain body language commentators, it appeared slightly overemphasized, interpreted as an attempt to project closeness in a moment where perception mattered most. Of course, body language analysis is subjective. It reflects interpretation, not fact. But in the media landscape, perception often shapes narrative just as much as reality. Then there was the fashion detail, subtle but widely discussed. Carrie Mulligan, the star associated with the event's featured project, wore a distinctive shade designed to stand out. Meghan appeared in a similar color palette. Coincidence? Possibly. But in an industry where styling is often pre-planned and coordinated, it added another layer to the conversation. Still, none of this alone proves anything. No confirmed reports state that Meghan was excluded. No verified source claims she was asked to leave. And no credible evidence suggests direct conflict with other attendees. What we're seeing instead is something more subtle and perhaps more telling: a shift in positioning. Because once upon a time, Harry and Meghan's entrance into Hollywood came with enormous anticipation. They weren't just public figures, they were global icons stepping into entertainment with unmatched visibility. The expectations were sky high, but expectations, when unmet, can quietly turn into distance. And in this case, the distance isn't loud, it's not dramatic. It doesn't explode into headlines. It simply appears in the gaps, in the missing photos, in the evolving partnerships, in the industry's shifting attention. And that's what makes this story so compelling. Because it's not about a single event, it's about momentum. Hollywood moves fast. It embraces what works and moves on from what doesn't. Not out of malice, but out of necessity. So the real question isn't whether Meghan Markle won or lost that night. The real question is this: was this a moment of influence or a glimpse of transition? Because if the cameras truly captured everything that mattered, then perhaps the most important detail is what they didn't capture at all. And if that's the case, then this story isn't over. It's just entering its next chapter,